Hi, I'm Xinch. I'm the head of marketing here at StoreHub, and I'm here with our co-founders of StoreHub, Wai Hong, who's our Chieftain, and Congyu, who's our CTO, who's joining us all the way from Shanghai. So this video is about a 2019 year in review, a quick recap about what's happened in StoreHub in the past 12 months. And but before we get started, Wai Hong, do you think you could introduce StoreHub a little bit and maybe give a brief story of how you two met and the origin story of StoreHub?
Yeah, absolutely. So StoreHub is what we call an operating system for successful omnichannel businesses. Essentially what we do is that we help retailers and restaurants to automate the growth of their sales, as well as to manage their business operations. So when we met, it was back in 2013 or 2012 actually. So I was living in Shanghai at the time, doing a bit of travel, and so I went to a lingerie store of my friends in Fuzhou, and it's just kind of looking around. He just showed me this new system he's implemented, and it was clunky, it was old, it was like Windows 95-ish, and I just thought, man, I've got all this experience in online retail and how we use technology to run, kind of modern businesses, and all these bricks and mortar businesses, they didn't have access to that. So I thought, hey, perhaps this was something we could do. Going back to Shanghai, told everyone about the idea. And met Congyu.
So we actually got introduced by a common friend, and I met Wai Hong in person in the Christmas party of local startup community in 2012. So we actually had a long chat, I think 3 hours chat, and he shared where the idea is coming from, his whole vision behind this, and the idea got me very excited. So I eventually write email to him after I met him, and breaking myself a bit and sell a bit. I'm
not sure if it's a bit. I don't know, she was telling me about how in the email she was like, oh, I know I won 2 national programming competitions, I was top 1% employee at Microsoft.
She won it, man.
Yeah, well, I got it. So that's where I always start.
So StoreHub started in 2013. So it's been 6 years since then. It's 2019 right now. How has StoreHub grown in the last 6 years, and how have the both of you grown as leaders as well during that time?
At the end of the day, businesses are about really people trying to push things forward, and our skills, our limitations, and our weaknesses really kind of like sometimes strangle growth. And so I think the growth is kind of like a little bit like that, and then flat, and a bit like that. That's kind of like the pattern of growth. And in a similar fashion for us, even though we've grown from I remember 2 or 3 people all the way to over 311 people today, I think the reality is that us as leaders have always been trying to figure out, okay, how do we uncap, or how do we remove the cap of growth from the company by growing ourselves? Because oftentimes, our inability or lack of understanding of how do we manage growing teams, from 10 people to 30 people to 100 people, are the biggest challenges and biggest bottlenecks for us. So I think from a resilience perspective, learning to deal with all the challenges. I think startups are some of the places where literally today you're feeling amazing, 2 hours later you're feeling horrible, 3 hours later suddenly things change again. And so that emotional roller coaster is probably one of the biggest, most difficult things to deal with.
What about you, Congyu?
Yeah, I think I definitely feel a similar way. So if I reflect the past 6 years, I think the biggest growth in me is definitely the emotional resilience Wai Hong just shared, because this journey is just so challenging. And in a lot of cases, I think as the leaders, we actually feel the pain the most, to be honest, that we're just constantly facing the different challenges, and just one more you feel like you grow and you'll be able to deal with your current situation, and boom, that's a new problem coming already. So I think that emotional resilience help us to still fighting against and moving forward, and it help us to just don't give up and facing the problems, solve the problems, and that's how we grow.
I mean, so Wai Hong, 2019 has been a very eventful year for us. A lot of things have happened this year. How do you think we've grown in 2019?
Yeah, so I think to understand 2019 properly, we probably have to go back a little bit, like just 1 year, to recognize that we raised our Series A in the beginning of 2018. And so what that meant was that throughout most of 2018, we were building foundations. We were building processes, we were investing in recruiting, we were just kind of really scaling up that foundation. And in 2019, it was kind of like, for us, we call it the year of the harvest, right? Where we literally, these foundations that we invested so much time building were crucial to enable us to kind of scale in 2019. So 2019, a lot of the successes of it was just be able to launch big features, to be able to kind of push to market some major things, as well as to be able to leverage all that foundation and that scale to kind of grow our numbers in a big way as well. And I mean, literally, we grew from 145 people at the start of the year to over 311 people today. It's like over 115%, I think, growth. As well as from a number of customers that we serve. We used to serve about 5,500 in the beginning of the year. We're over 12,000 stores right now. So I think they're just such massive amounts of growth and numbers that happened in 2019 specifically, but only made possible because 2018 was kind of like there to kind of lay the groundwork for it.
And Congyu, I mean, he mentioned all the a lot of features that we launched this year, and yeah, this year has been huge for products. So can you do a quick recap on all the stuff we did this year?
Yeah, definitely. So this year is definitely a super exciting but also challenging year for our product team. So we launched Android version of our point of sale app at the beginning of the year, which is huge. I think it significantly reduced the total hardware cost and also better hardware as well. And mid of the year, we launched our first set of smart retail initiative, including the BIP ordering, which is a QR code ordering system, and also BIP Cashback system, which is a loyalty program that can help a merchant to grow their customer bases. Yep.
Actually, when you kind of condense it that way, it sounds like we did a lot this year.
Yep.
Definitely.
I think we did quite a few things in the background as well that Congyu probably doesn't talk about as much, literally overhauling and upgrading our entire database infrastructure and all these other things that really help to kind of scale. And your team's like what, 40 plus people right now?
Yeah. Actually, from team growth perspective, it's also a big year for product team. Beginning of the year, I think we have like
20?
10?
10.
No, 15 to 20.
Yeah, around that, including both product team and engineering team, and now my team's like 40 plus, 45 almost. So yeah, like 3x. So it's
Yep,
definitely
the emotional resilience and required.
Yep, that's how you grow.
So building off of what Congyu just said, I know we're doing a lot of stuff this year as well. So what other improvements are we working on across the entire organization?
Yeah, so I think what's really obvious to us right now is that a lot of these structures and systems, we talk about how 2018 was building the foundations for 2019, but we're starting to recognize that right now, even a lot of these foundations and structures that were built prior to that, they're breaking. Like a lot of the systems and platforms, our CRM, our technology infrastructure, our different tools that we use, all of these are starting to feel the weight of the speed that we're growing, the size of the customers that we're serving. So things like our customer support platform, we used to use multiple tools to manage whether that's chat or support tickets or calls. But right now we're trying to unify all of that so that we have a much more holistic, complete view of our customers, the engagement we have with them, so that we're able to better serve them in more meaningful ways so that it's not so disjointed.
So StoreHub's mission is making business awesome for everyone. What does that look like to you, Wai Hong, and Congyu as well? And why is it so important that we have this mission?
We both agreed and came to the common understanding that we really didn't want to just be another organization that was about just profit making, right? And a core part of this idea and what we saw as meaningful work was to build organizations, and business was a great kind of vehicle for that, that actually served the needs of the world. And I think one of the biggest needs that we saw was this technology disparity between bigger businesses who had access to technology and small businesses who just could not afford the kind of modern technology that these big corporations and businesses have. And we wanted to bridge that gap. So when we talk about what does it mean to make business awesome for everyone, well, it actually means that we want to build a platform, a technology, a business model that allows the small guys, the medium guys, sure, the big guys as well, but not just the ones that are profitable, but everyone across this value chain. We want to enable all of them to run awesome businesses. So I think for us, when we talk about why it's super important for us and why I think someone as capable as Congyu is able to buy into this mission, I guess it's really tying back down to this idea that the for everyone part of making businesses awesome is super important to us.
If I think about why I got sold by this idea like 6 years ago, I think fundamentally it's because it is the thing that I want to work on. So before StoreHub, I worked in Microsoft. The product I used to work on is .NET Framework, Visual Studio, and the target audience of these products are developers. So I deal with developers day in and day out, and developers are the ones deal with technology day in and day out. But when I walk on the street, I look at those small and medium businesses like along the street, they're still using pen and papers. So that's why, to me, I always want to bring technology closer to everyone. Like everyone can leverage technology and make their life better, make the business better. So that's why I really believe in this, and I really believe in technology can do that. And for me, I need to see something meaningful, and that meaningful part is not just profit, not just money. So yeah.
Do you have any stories or anecdotes to share about how like StoreHub has managed to fulfill its mission in making business awesome?
Okay, I really love that story shared by our Thai team just a while ago. So it's a cafe and it's running by blind people. Oh, yeah. And because our technology is built on top of the new technology platform, iPad, our system, so they have this voice control and assistant functionality built in place. And it makes our app just natively support them now. So now they can be using our system and to run their cafe well and to support their own life and family.
Yeah, which probably would not have been possible with a more traditional system. I mean, imagine like all those traditional systems running on Windows. You're probably going to really struggle to get that to work for.
Yeah, keyboard typing, Braille keyboard, that would have been tough. And what about you? Do you have any stories to share that's been meaningful?
Yeah, I mean, I go back a little bit, to our early days, and I remember in the early days, one of our first customers was like, in order to get a report, a basic sales report, I had to get my sales manager at the store to literally click buttons for 1 whole hour and then write an SMS and send this report out to me every single day. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And I said, why don't you use a more modern system? And back then, some of these systems were like $40, $50, even $100,000. And these were really expensive, right? For a small business to afford and to pay. And so I think if we can talk about all these different stories and all different people that we've encountered in the past. And it's always meaningful for me to understand, say, hey, we actually genuinely help these guys in such a meaningful way.
So 2019 was a year of harvest for us, and I know 2020 is going to mark a year of hopefully exponential growth for not just the company, the team and leadership team as a whole as well. So what are key focus areas for you, Congyu, in 2020? From
product team perspective, we're going to mainly focus on 2 areas. The first one is really strengthen our core and foundation because as Wai Hong shared previously, we're constantly growing, and what we built previously to support 1,000 customers wouldn't work very well for like 10,000, 15,000 customers anymore. So we really want to make that foundation more solid and to support the next level of growth. And the second one is we are also working hard to trying to close that whole loop of smart retail to automate the whole from customer acquisition to customer engagement and eventually convert them to increase the sales, the whole loop. So that will be the 2 key areas we're going to focus on.
So I think 2020 from a focus perspective is me working with our people team, our leaders, to really strengthen that layer of what is it about our culture as we go from 300 to 600 people that we really value, we want to keep, and what is it that we want to shed off. And so that kind of refreshing of mindset, that kind of thinking around our people processes, our system processes, all of that is going to be very crucial in 2020. But the exciting part of it all is as we're doing all this, as we're making sure that we are really cleaning house, we are also being given an opportunity to innovate, to be able to develop new things. The teams are strong. So I think that's what's exciting about 2020. It's just all these focus that we're able to do on cleaning up, but also it will be a year of innovation, and that's what I believe. 2019 was harvesting, 2020 is really about innovating and really about building new things, pushing things to market that is going to be creating real value for our customers.
So 2020 is about doubling down on our vision, which is building a platform for awesome businesses, but also building a place where people can thrive, because you talked about a lot about people. So 2020, the year of innovation and doubling down on our vision.
It's essentially the year of being able to make our vision a reality. I've talked about this a few times before in the past, why do we need scale at a startup? Why do we need to raise money? Why do we need to have more people? Well, because we need world-class people. We need strong talent to be able to realize this dream that is called our vision. And without talent, without good people, without scale, it's impossible for us to build a platform for awesome businesses. It's impossible for us to be a place where people thrive. And we need that kind of skill. And up to this point, we've just been trying to get that skill. I think 2020 is the year we've actually got it. We actually have a chance to start building and making our vision a reality.
So what would success look like to you for 2020?
Success. I think, when we talk about success, people say what you've done so far has been great, it's been successful. I think success is an ongoing thing. But to call 2020 a fruitful year, I think what will be really important is that all these goals we have around solidifying what culture at StoreHub is, all these goals we have about making sure our core is strong, that's a baseline, right? We need to make sure we do that well. But at the same time, if we just do that alone, it's not going to be enough to call it a successful year. I think we really need to bear fruit. We literally need to ensure that this innovation, this promise that we're making to our customers, to continue to help them drive up their sales, to drive up efficiency, that we are actually delivering on that promise, that we're actually building a platform to help them become successful businesses. We're barely scratching the surface of that. I think right now as a technology platform, we've got some basic stuff, we've got some cool stuff, but we really need to dive deeper and actually innovate to generate real value for these guys. So success for us in 2020 is seeing our customers and more of our customers successful. And I think really to be able to drive our customer success in 2020, that would be a big kind of like way to measure what a successful year for us looks like.
100% align with that.
Okay. So all that sounds really, really exciting, but I know that there's one more thing you left out, and that's what the entire company and everyone in the company is really, really looking forward to next year.
Well, I mean, we are moving new offices, both here in Malaysia, in Thailand. We are also looking for spaces in the Philippines. We are expanding our office in Shanghai. So if you are referring to that one thing, I guess we're all expanding. I think here, particularly in Malaysia at headquarters, we are moving into a brand new place instead of just expanding itself, and that's a really exciting project. We're moving from a 11,000 square feet space.
And there's so much history here in 10 Boulevard as well. This is where StoreHub was born.
Well, I mean, technically my apartment in Shanghai, but I mean...
In Malaysia.
In Malaysia, sure, yeah. I mean, and we'll miss this place. We've actually gone from 2 doors down to this space and then taking on all 6 floors eventually. And I think going to this new place, what's important for us is that we get a chance to really take a bit more time and thought to express ourselves. I think one of the challenges with 10 Boulevard back in there was we were really, really budget constrained. So we were as stingy as we could be, and we really wanted to just make sure that we just moved into a place that was practically good enough. But in the new space, I mean, we've still been fairly conservative fiscally, but we've got a little bit more liberty to kind of say, okay, let's figure out what's important to us as a brand, as a personality, and who are we as StoreHubbers, right? How do we find expression in this space? And I absolutely believe in our environment and our space is super important to how we think, how we behave, how we work, how we play. So yeah, we're really exciting. It's 27,000 square feet in this new space, so it's huge. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
So Congyu, I was wondering, what would you like to tell or say to our hubbers, that's what we call our teammates here, hubbers at StoreHub, like the current hubbers and the hubbers who will be joining us in the future?
I think to me, the big one is definitely thank you. Thank you so much for joining this tough journey with us, and thank you for everyone's going to onboard this tough journey with us. and really, really looking forward to continue work with all of you and to make business awesome for everyone.
Aw, thank you, Chongyu. That's really sweet. Wai Hong, what about you? Actually, from you, I'd like to hear what would you like to say to some of our customers, our restaurateurs, retailers, small business owners out there who we serve today, for those of them who might be watching this video?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for being our customers over all these years, from when we were just a small little team building, a really, really simple product, to where we are today. Our customers, retailers, restaurants, you guys have been such a big support for us. And our commitment, I think, moving forwards is really to drive even more value for you guys. And our mission says it all, right? Making business awesome for everyone. And we really want to make that making business awesome part more of a reality for all of our customers. And I believe 2020 is going to be the year that we really see more of that happen and more value being driven. Keep listening in for the new things that we're launching. And of course, Chongyu's team is working really, really hard to push that forward. But at the same time, our commitment is not just about product, it's also about the service levels that we are providing. It's also about how we engage with our customers. So I think all of that is getting an overhaul, it's getting a massive focus this year. So really excited to be able to serve and help make more businesses awesome.
So thanks everyone for watching, and thanks Wai Hong and Chongyu for sharing a lot of really exciting stuff and very heartfelt messages for everyone as well. We really appreciate it. And yeah, this has been an exciting year for us, and I'm really looking forward, all of us are really looking forward to 2020 as well. Thanks for watching, guys.
Here at StoreHub, we're making business awesome for everyone.